Mark Felt, The Man Who Brought Down the White House is a film about the Watergate scandal. You've heard about this affair before. It was a fairly major political to-do in the 70s, a wide-reaching conspiracy of dirty tricks and abuse of power that eventually brought about the resignation of President Richard Nixon. But the scandal is news to the real-life characters that make up the ensemble of Mark Felt, a muted thriller that takes place within the FBI and follows the exploits of the man who would later be revealed as the Washington Post's crucial secret source, Deep Throat. This is the kind of movie where every time a new character walks on screen, someone else introduces him with his full name and title, information that would already be obvious to everyone but the audience. It's the sort of film where people ask, how high? How high does this go? About the Watergate intrigue. Written and directed by Peter Landesman, the journalist behind similarly sober true story dramas like Parkland and Concussion, Mark Felt is told with sincerity and even-handedness, slowly laying out the facts of Felt's transformation from consummate G-man to legendary informant. But the film has all the subtlety of a term paper, even if the earliest scenes suggest otherwise. Landesman, who, in his journalistic career, has written for The Atlantic, scored a coup in casting Liam Neeson, a cinder block of a movie star with a voice that's at once sonorous and gruff, in the title role. Felt is the ideal enforcer, a deputy to the much-feared FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who helped build the agency into a fiercely independent fiefdom that hoards gossip about every influence peddler in Washington. The film begins with the death of Hoover, who's spoken of, but unseen, which leaves a power vacuum President Nixon, also unseen, struggles to leap into. Meanwhile, Felt is tasked with hiding and destroying much of the incriminating evidence Hoover had surreptitiously gathered over the years. There's a familiar, but still enjoyable, air of paranoia to the first act of the movie, which involves smoke-filled rooms and mysterious filing cabinets, with Felt barking cryptic orders and Hoover's secretary shredding papers with aplomb. I always prefer 70s political thrillers that emphasize the atmosphere of total distrust in government, and Mark Felt is pretty plain from the start about the institutional rot of the moment. Felt, long tipped to succeed his boss, is pushed aside for a nakedly political appointee, L. Patrick Gray, Martin Xokas, an assistant attorney general from Nixon's Justice Department.